going to demonstrate procure-to-pay automation within ClearWork. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the requisitions page. And from here we have a configured set of vendors that we're allowed to purchase indirect materials from. So things like office supplies and things you might need around your workspace. So we have Amazon, Office Depot, and Grainger. And what's going to happen is we're going to establish a secure e-commerce session using Punch-Out integration when we click on this link here. So I click on Amazon, and Clear Process behind the scenes is establishing that secure e-commerce session. So it says, hey, I'm Clear Software Inc. I'm essentially authenticated into Amazon Business with all of my credentials. Based on the fact that I'm authenticated, it's only going to show products that my procurement department allows me to purchase from this vendor. So in this case, when I search for printers, it's only going to show me printers that I'm allowed to buy as an employee of Clear Software. So I'll go ahead and add this printer to my cart. Say no thanks to the protection plan. And for fun, just let's add another printer, just so we have 2 items in our cart. So the biggest breakdown we see, and a lot of organizations see within the procure-to-pay process, is the fact that your employees will go buy either raw materials or indirect materials from vendors, and then they won't go back into your system of record and create a purchase order or requisition documenting that it actually happened. And sometimes even if they do that, they don't put in the line item level information that you need to be able to reconcile a vendor invoice against a purchase order. Instead, we take the human completely out of the loop. When they actually want to submit their shopping cart contents for approval, that gets fed through our integration hub, which is Clear Process. It applies all of your business rules, assignment to general ledger accounts, whatever you need done, and then feeds it into your system of record, whether that be PeopleSoft, SAP, Oracle E-Business Suite, with all that line item level information. So now I have a requisition that has all of that data in there. So far I've typed in no data to order these products from Amazon. Because of the status of this requisition, it was just created, this Convert to PO button appears. So when I click that Convert to PO button, it actually converts it to a PO, and then the button disappears. So it's essentially walking you through the process as a business user. So if I go take a look at this purchase order, it took me down to the purchase orders page. We have a reference back to that requisition. Because of the approval settings I have set up in my ERP system, I need to have a manager approve this purchase order before it actually gets released back to Amazon. So I go ahead and click approve. Once it's approved, that button will disappear, and that will be sent electronically to Amazon. They will actually ship you your goods, and once you've actually received them, you can click this goods receipt button. And it pre-populates the entire order, which 99% of the time you're receiving the entire order. So all you need to do is go ahead and click Create Goods Receipt, and behind the scenes it will mark those goods as received from Amazon. And typically within the punch-out process, Amazon or any of your vendors will send an electronic message indicating that the invoice has been submitted. And that would hit Clear Process behind the scenes and automatically perform the 3-way match against your purchase order and goods receipt. But instead, for demo purposes, we've put this Receive Invoice button here to simulate that electronic message from the vendor. And what ends up happening is, of course, the vendor invoice matches the purchase order. So it posts and unblocks the payment to go out according to the vendor's payment terms. So we essentially walked through the day-to-day procure-to-pay process from an employee's perspective without actually entering any data. And that's just the kind of automation that Clear can bring to your organization.